Have a really good think, because somebody you know could earn you a lot of money for very little effort. Think, who do you know that wants to buy a property in Spain? A colleague, a mate, someone in your family, a friend of a friend? If you know someone, go to welcome-estates.com and click the Refer a Friend link. If they buy, you'll pocket a nice chunky thank you from one of Spain's leading estate agents. T's and C's apply. All details at welcome-estates.com.
Hello all you hardcore boxing fans out there, how are you doing? It's Russ here from Porky's Corner, the biggest gob in sport. Today we're joined by boxing promoter Dennis Hobson, aka Big Ron. How you doing, Ron?
Good to see you, Russ. Been a long time.
Yeah, you let me down on 2 interviews, didn't you?
Well, I like to think that you're... I've chastised you a little bit in the past. I've had to because of some of your comments towards me, and then so we've got to know where we stand, Russ. So I can't give you all my time because you'll get complacent and you'll get disrespectful towards me again.
Right. First things first, let's cut to the chase. Are you a retired boxing promoter, yes or no?
So is this a dig at Dennis? Time?
I'm just asking, are you retired, Dennis?
Am I tired or retired?
Are you retired?
Or
because you're not putting out on.
Don't you worry about what I put on. Have you ever been a boxing promoter, Russell?
No, I haven't. I'll leave that to you.
Have you ever had some teeth from Turkey, Russell?
Yeah, 24. No, 21. I'm breathing here.
When are you gonna fucking bed in?
They're in, aren't they?
You've made your head bigger.
Oh, they've made my jaw smaller, aren't they?
You're 5'9" now, and you're 5'11". 11 and a half.
11 and a half. We've got a head like a skull. Your hair's looking well, Dennis.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Yeah. Have you been and had an Eddie Earner touching?
No. I'm natural. Eddie Earns is probably he probably has a bit of Botox and a bit of pampering. I like to think I'm more real, Anna. Yeah. Good looking lad, I suppose, old Eddie. But he probably don't know his arse from his elbow. He's all over the place, isn't he?
He is at the moment, isn't he? He's having a bit of a mare, isn't he?
Not for me. Not for me, but...
what do you think? Well, we'll go straight in on the Conor Benn situation then. Everybody's had something to say about it. You've not said a word about Conor Benn or what's gone on and how it's been dealt with. Everybody's had an opinion on it. Do you want to give an opinion, yes or no?
As regards... the opinion I'll give is that I love boxing, obviously, and I've achieved more than I could have ever thought and imagined I would have done. But having said that, I've worked tirelessly and very hard, and I've been swimming against tide a lot of times when I've achieved for a lot of the kids to get some major titles. So I love the sport, but I don't like to hear about anybody cheating, and it's happening in athletics. Field sports and stuff like that, and then we've got this gender thing where a man can transgender and compete with a woman. It's not right because naturally men are stronger than women, and it's become apparent in what sport were it with that transgender swimming, yeah. So it's not right. So I'm saying fair, level playing field, may the best man win or woman win in their different categories. So I don't like to hear about anybody cheating. It's wrong. It brings the game into disrepute, and it's potentially very dangerous on both sides. Not for them, just for them who's taking enhanced drugs or whatever they're taking, but if somebody's having to get down a weight and then somebody's got an unnatural advantage and they damage that person because of this unnatural enhanced performance, that's wrong, and it's very dangerous. And if it were my kid, and I think Eubank's dad has said something about this, has he not? That he weren't going to let him fight because he were having to cut the weight.
He did want him to fight,
so if he's cutting the weight or what do you call it, pick and weight, catch weight, then, and he's cutting weight, but then if there's somebody who he's fighting's had some enhancement drug wise, it's very wrong and it's dangerous.
They were boiling him down to 157, but they were only letting him put £3 on. Now, on average, a welterweight gets in the ring at 160, 159. So Eubank were a super middle. He's fighting at middle, but they're letting him rehydrate to a welterweight. So there were a bit more to the story than you think, wasn't there? Because if he couldn't get in.
that right.
No, he was 157 the weight, wasn't it? Yeah, we agree on that.
Yeah.
But they only let him rehydrate to 160. Now a welterweight's 147, and they rehydrate 10 to 14 pounds, don't they?
Yeah.
So Eubank would have been in the ring more or less the same weight as a welterweight, but he's a super middle.
I get you.
You see where I'm coming from, Dennis?
I get you.
Down there for dancing, kid.
Yeah, but it's just, it must be your accent because you don't come from an eloquent part of the world like I do, Russell.
Yeah. Strasbourg, is it? Strasbourg.
No, you talk a little bit different to me, you know, even though you probably went to school more often. But you went to an approved school, didn't you?
Thanks for that, Dennis.
Anyway, so, your young'uns are clever and know, innit? Was he getting his brains off, little Reggie?
Me.
He's a smart little cookie, Reggie, innit? He's a gifted little kid, him. So, it's wrong, Russ. It's wrong, it's dangerous. And if anybody is using an instrument, I won't like to think I'd done something that could have contributed to damage somebody. And like all of Chris Eubanks Jr., because not everybody's cup of tea. I ain't got a feeling either way, but I won't like to think that somebody had damaged a kid because it's a human being. He's got kids, whatever. He's a family, or if he has got kids, I don't know. But it's wrong.
Yeah. They're trying to put the fight on somewhere else. Do you think that that'll fizzle out now? They'll have to go with board.
I think so now. Yeah, I think so. I think it's lost its credibility, that fight, and it's a shame because I met Conor when he was a young kid at 16, and I really took to him. I thought, what a gentleman he was. But I think a lot of it, what they've done, they've got this persona, what they have in front of the camera, but then they've took it a bit too far and they got wrapped up in it all. And if
with Piers Morgan and all that.
Yeah, and it's a shame, but you know, they're two kids wanting to make their way in life, but don't do it if somebody's cheating. If they are cheating, it's wrong. And you know, that two names, they both earned the stripes now. If one of them is cheating, and it looks like Conor has been, then it's wrong. They both earn good money, win or lose.
Yeah.
So, and if one of them gets beat, they can do it again anyway. And then they come up with, you know, like
another script.
Eubanks is doing with Smith. They said, well, for whatever reason, I got buzzed, and but it won't happen again. I could have cleaned my head and blah blah blah. Anyway, he's got the excuse, and they're getting it back on.
Yeah.
Now, I won't be surprised if Eubanks did beat Smith.
I won't.
So, you know, why do you need to take anything? Just get it on, earn a few quid. You'll go down in history as fighting each other. The sons of two legends fighting each other, and make your own legacy.
Do you think they got carried away in their own height because they've had it all their own way so far now?
Absolutely.
With drug testing, with Dylan White's situation, there's been other situations. But what about the ones that we don't know about, Dennis? Do you think they've had it all their own way and they've just wanted to bulldoze the way straight through?
Maybe, and I mean, you know, there's been a question mark about Amir now, hasn't there? And and I think, did Kel made a remark about it? Or, you know, you can look back and some kids who's fought these lads. I mean, when Clinton fought Roy Jones, Clinton, I think, if you speak to him, I think he's probably made reference to he thought that Roy Jones were on gear when he fought him.
Well, he weren't, and it came out that he were, didn't it?
So
the greatest fighter of our generation in the 90s were on gear, and he's loaded wherever he goes. Go on,
so who's to say that, you know, if he were taking anything, would he been as good? And some of the losses and some of the titles that these fighters win, if they had been taking it, so shouldn't that title shouldn't they be stripped of that title? So you can go on and
of course they should. Listen, Clinton should be shouting that from the rafters. If he, you know what I mean, I know about that, but he doesn't shout it about, and not many people do because it was that long ago, wasn't it?
Imagine how hard my job we're trying to promote him when he won't go out and talk and meet and greet, but the kid would.
Yeah, but that's a different kettle of fish towards being
No, but
beat by drug cheat, innit?
yeah, it is. But like, if somebody done it to me, I'd be saying something.
Of course you would. You'd be saying, "Hey, what are you on gear when he fought me?"
So yeah, that's without being a loudmouth. You know, you'd be saying, "Can I have truth here? What do you think to this?"
You've got pictures of Roy Jones and you in here, Dennis. Are you his mate?
Yeah, I'm his pal.
You come over, stop at your house at Jersey.
Yeah. I mean, I respect him, but like, I hate to think he cheated. You know, and Amir's, I get on well with Amir when I see him. But he sent me a lovely message when my dad passed. So I respect that, but I don't like to think that anybody's cheated because it's wrong and it's dangerous.
Yeah, it is. This Saudi tournament, Joshua against Wilder. Eddie says it's the biggest fight out there that's ever going to be. I don't believe it. I think that Joshua's bigger, isn't it? And there's Fury obviously and Usyk. They're the four. They're saying there's going to be a third and fourth place playoff as well, so there's 4 fights, but it's all poppycock at the moment.
Isn't our friend Ben involved in it?
Ben Shalom? I don't think so, is he?
Shalom? It should be Ben Shallow.
Leave that.
Ben Shallow.
Kevin, let me ring you back, I'm just filming. So, this Saudi tournament, Dylan White's saying it should be an 8-man tournament, not a 4-man. What do you think about it all, Dennis? Do you think it'll happen? They're looking at December. Do you think it's just lip service?
I don't think there's enough substance behind it. Is it just hype and talk, and it's just something to talk about? There's a couple of big fights there, isn't there? I mean, Joe Joyce got found out. I can't understand why they did what they did with Joe Joyce. You know, it looked as though he'd never been in with a southpaw before, and Joe is just an honest kid, but he's 37, 38 years old, and his pitch is his style. He walks when he's got a granite chin. He's a juggernaut, and he just keeps coming until he bludgeons you down. Well, that is strategy to get to the top, to the world. You need more than that. And he obviously got found out with somebody who were a mover because they were the other way around, and he had got an answer to it. So A, you don't put him in with somebody like that, or B, you've been building up for the last 6 or 12 months, having regular sparring with southpaws, so you're comfortable, you don't get phased with it. Well, obviously he got no answer. Just kept coming in straight lines and just getting tagged against a heavy hitter who got faster hands and he was more agile than Joe. So bad mistake, and then they're talking about putting him with him again. Do me a favour. He needs a big win against a domestic fighter here. But has that myth gone? The juggernaut myth gone?
Do you think that we got carried away with Joe Joyce's eye? You know, people like Sam Jones saying that his bone density was 6-7 times stronger than the average man.
Of course they didn't. I think, and I just worried that Joe got carried away in his own eye with their eye, because you know, it's probably they program him a little bit on what to say and whatever. I mean, it comes over as a likeable fella, but not for me. I think he needs to fight somebody like a Fabio or a Fraser Clark. I think them kind of fights would interest a lot of people. It'd be big domestic fights, and let's see if he can get back on track. Or he fights Dubois again. Now, has Dubois moved on since he got beat by Joyce? I'm not so sure, because I'd like to see Dubois in a proper against a good domestic.
They're not going to risk
fighter.
him near anybody, are they? Sure, after that.
Listen, I'd put Dave Allen in with Dubois.
I would, if I were managing Dave. Listen, Dave could flog him.
Because I think he might upset Dubois, and it's a good domestic fight. But you know, Dubois be the big favourite, but test him out against a kid who's like been in with some of the best, and let's see if, you're as good as what we think we are, because Dave Allen's a good yardstick. Because if Dave's fit is an handful, would they do that? Let him pick the phone up and let's have a pop at it. Joseph Parker, Dave Allen, Joe Parker would have been a good one, I think.
Listen, all these are all on slide now. Now Dave's had a rest. He's crude enough to put a good performance up against people like that, isn't he? If he wanted to. If you got bit between his teeth.
Dave's he's got a bit of charisma, hasn't he, as well, and his game, so you know he's going to be in an exciting fight. So
Charisma, you don't even drink.
you can have charisma without drinking,
Can you?
Russell. So
Sorry,
do you get charisma out of a bottle? Is that what you buy? Can you go and buy me some? So I
You
tell
reckon you've already got charisma, don't you, Ron?
well, I don't like to brag myself off, but you know, it has been said. But if you could buy it in a bottle, Russ, we'd have a few and I'd be giving it out for Christmas to 1 or 2 people.
Do you think that Max got carried away calling Dave Allen out last year? Because now he's seen him in the flesh, baby. Max doing that bolo punching Malta. Max says he don't want to fight Dave now.
No, I think Max were only tongue-in-cheek with it. Poor old Max. But Max is a work in progress, our Max.
He is.
He likes being part of around us at Fight Academy and Fight Zone. So you know, long may that relationship continue.
Does Max have to take your car valet place now?
No, he don't leave me in Leeds to walk home or out like that. He's not done that yet. Somebody once did, and then just laughed at me over the phone, just to goad me.
You got trained, didn't you?
The last train to London.
There's been a little train in your life.
Last train to London, just leaving town.
You know, when I got home that night,
Yeah.
I thought, maybe I shouldn't have done that. And I didn't see you for 5 months, and then you punched me at ribs in Bulgaria, didn't you, when you stood behind me? Do you remember? I went, hey up, Rammy! Oh, Dennis, hey up, Dennis! I went, you punched me right in the rib, and then you did it later on that night. That's when I took you down, didn't I? I said, if you do that one more time.
Yeah, and you took me down, did you?
And you bit me there.
I didn't give you a Gorbachev fucking chat.
No, you rubbed my head on the carpet.
I fucking bit
No,
you.
you went like that. You didn't bite me on head, did you?
I bit you.
I thought you bit me on arm.
I bit you on arm and on head.
Is that what that a bite? That's bad, that.
Put his feet down off my furniture.
That's bad, that. I thought that were a carpet or a knuckle
No, you sometimes need
bite.
Yes, you needed teaching.
I had a red mark there for weeks.
Well, you were like Gorbachev, weren't you?
That's bad, that.
Why is it bad?
That's bad. You punched me there.
What you did to me in Leeds.
Well, that was for that then, wasn't it?
Was almost.
I knew it was for that.
So, do you accept that clip, what you got?
Well, yeah, I had to do, didn't I? You accept me choking you out near the wrong because I let you off. I had you there like that.
I couldn't
You were like, I'm gonna kill you! You were shouting, let me get at this! Let me get at this! You were going like that, stand there like that.
I couldn't choke out.
You bit half my bicep off. I swear to God, it was like here hanging off.
You couldn't choke a fucking Michigan out. I couldn't.
Fight Zone, Dennis. I've read somewhere in I'm not sure boxing news.
Is this a nice question or a slagging question?
Let's not.
Go on.
Fight Zone, I read somewhere. You don't know what you're doing with it, you've got to deal with BBC or you're involved with BBC.
I don't know what I'm doing with it. What do you mean I don't know what I'm doing with it? Right.
Did I put that wrong?
Well, obviously, like a lot.
No, you're going through a transitional period, you were saying.
That's a bit more eloquent, Russell.
Transitional period.
It's
I got that one off you, Terry.
But Terry's got a good brain, ain't you, Tel? So, a transitional period, I would have said so because we've got a deal with BBC, iPlayer, and we're going to get some big numbers, and their marketing machine is very, very massive, isn't it? And so that's a big thing that we looked at. Now, Fight Zone is still a great platform. It's a brand that we've grown. We've got tens of thousands of subscribers who flit in and flit out. So if we put something on big, we've got tens of thousands of subscribers who will just click in. But what we want to do, we want to grow that tens of thousands, into 100,000 or whatever, and then we've got an audience. If they think there's something big, they know where to look for it, they know where they can get it because they're already subscribed and they haven't got to put all the details in again. So on the back of that, the BBC, we fit their criteria and they fit ours because they're a massive platform, a big marketing machine they've got, which we'll tap into. We're building a smashing relationship with them. We've got some great stories and we're putting meaningful title fights on. I mean, look at what we put it on. You've got Tommy Frank versus Jay Harris as the top of the bill. We are the
That was
undercard.
rematch, isn't it?
No.
Oh, first one.
Yeah, because
shouldn't they have fought before when I
they
were
got
there?
let
Yeah,
down,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
it should have been for the European. Then we were going to do it in Malta, and the board wouldn't let us do it in Malta because they said it weren't a
It's a good fight that for both
Proper
proper
fight.
that.
But that should have happened in Malta for the European as well as the British.
Yeah.
So we managed to get Conor Butler against Matt Windle in for the European. Now that's going to be for the European fly as well as the Commonwealth.
That's a good fight as well, isn't it?
As a chief support or core feature, you've got Ryan Farag against Marcel Braithwaite, all Liverpool Commonwealth title, and then you've got another good undercard. So we put in some decent little
When is
fights
this on,
together.
Dennis?
So you've got March the 5th, Tommy Frank versus
March? We're in April
sorry,
now.
May the
May
5th. That's the only time you've been correct by correcting me. Anyway, March the 5th, which is next week, Jay Harris versus Tommy Franks, smashing all British title fight. Then June the 9th, Liverpool, Olympia, you've got Conor Butler versus Matt Windle, and you've got Ryan Farag versus Marcel Braithwaite. So they're two cracking shows. There'll be full undercards on both of them.
He's alright, that Ryan Farag, isn't he?
Oh, what an athlete. He looks fitter than ever. And he's got a bit of an edge to him, so that's going to be a cracking fight. Conor Butler versus Matt is going to be a cracking fight. But then, you know, you've got before that, like I said, next week, the flyweights there who are going to step up to fight for the European after they've done their business for the British. So there's some little stories building there.
What are you going to do with Dave Allen, Dennis, do you think now?
Dave Allen, we're looking for a big fight for Dave now.
About David Adelaide?
Eliminated
but British.
We had an interest at one bit from Pulev, but obviously they're talking about Pulev fighting Dillian White now. But Derek Chisora has been spoke about, and
Derek would probably have a good chance against Derek Chisora.
Well, Derek's expressed an interest, but obviously the money's got to be right. So it's however we work that out. So we're still talking about whether we could do that. I'd love to do some. I mean, I've got. He's a character, Derek anyway, isn't he?
Chisora.
Like him all over.
He'd sell it for you, wouldn't he, him and Dave Allen?
Well, I could watch. He's not going to be there for a long time now, Derek, is
Do you
he?
think Dave Allen's owed a pension out boxing, Dennis? I do.
Has he what?
He's owed something from sport after what he went through with that lot, because they didn't look after him, did
Well,
they?
he thought that Eddie looked after him. I says,
What?
and I went, Dave, you
look what
just
they were
were
paying him and look what analytics he were pulling in on.
Yeah, you were too brave for your own good. So obviously they're going to put you in, but you didn't go in there when you were fit enough, and you just showed how tough you were. Now the one thing that if Dave fought Derek, it can't fail to be a tear up. Can't fail. So I think that does good numbers. Do you?
One's going to want about $500,000 to fight Dave Allen, isn't it, Chisora?
Mm-hmm.
And Dave's going to want probably 200 grand, isn't he?
Well, whatever the figures are, don't you think it sells?
Yeah, but if you did pay-per-view and you charge 20 quid, you might only get 100,000 buys.
Do you know how much that makes?
Yeah, I mean it makes 2 million quid, doesn't it? So there's 1.3.
I don't think it do. It might not do 100,000, but say it did 50,000 at 15 quid.
That's 750 grand.
750 grand.
Yeah, but you think
And then you've got the gate. What does it do gate wise? Could it do
100 grand.
No.
Think it'd do more? Where would you put it on at?
Maybe Wembley Arena.
I was thinking of your normal arenas.
Put your turkey teeth away. Go on, put them away. Put it full out.
I was thinking of Ice Arena.
Idiot.
And that white bar as well. And that's a sellout.
Russell, you're blinding me with them. Put your dentures in here. Put your dentures.
So, alright then, so Dave Allen Chisora, you'd like to do that, but
I'd like to do that.
they're going to put him in with Dillian White for a third time, aren't they, really, I think? Do you think?
Maybe, but you know, I think it's a tick over fight for Derek and he'd be a favourite.
Look, Dillian and Derek's been already mentioned. What about Joe Joyce Zhang 2 in China? Did 12 million buys, didn't it, the first time?
Did it?
Yeah, well that's why Derek Chisora and Dylan are screaming. They want to fight Zhang in China now. 12 million pay-per-view buys from a country that's got 2 billion, is it 2 billion?
2 billion, yeah.
2 billion. So it ain't really a lot of buys, but to us it's like mega buys, isn't it?
Massive.
So 12 million at whatever they're charging. No wonder Derek and Dylan are on phone to Eddie wanting it, because they get it, don't they? They get boxing. Even though they're on the top of the hill coming down, they're still going to want to get the pensions, aren't they? This is why I think it's right that Dave Allen gets a pension fight.
Be nice, but
I do, honestly.
I
don't want it to be like on a matchroom card for like 40 grand, losing against Wardley and then going.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be something like that for him, because he'd never come back from that, I don't think.
No, I don't think so. So we actively looking now, Russ.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Jack Massey, Dennis, and Kevin Marie, are we all mates again now? Is it all?
No, I can't be. How can I be mates? If I ever had to do business with them, I probably would. But like, they're not same as me. I told certain people. There's certain people in the industry is not like me. They're not as honourable as me, but they seem to thrive in this business, and it's a shame because it brings the game down. And the game should be a lot better and easier to put together as regards making fights, people getting a piece of the pie, but people want to go behind people's back. That includes Ben SHALOM, Kev Marie, and on the back of Kev, obviously Jack's tried to pull away, which is wrong, and he knows what I've done for him and how much we paid out. You've got him up in Scotland, Sam Kinnett. They're not as honourable as me, and you know, they're good at telling the kids how good they are, and they're like snakes off at Jungle Book, aren't they? Trusting me, and then the kids sign with them. I'll get you this, I'll get you that. And a lot of it's hot air, and sometimes they've delivered on the back of what I did for them at Fight Zone. But they wasn't honourable with me, so I can't say I've got a lot of respect for them. They'll never achieve what I've done on my own back. They always ride on somebody else's back. So, what do you say?
I say it's all a bit messy, isn't it? It's a bit
Massey.
I feel a bit horrible actually, because I've do interviews over at Joe's gym now, and he's got him over there, hasn't he?
Yeah. Well, listen, if Joe's earning money out of Massey and Massey wants a change of trainer, good luck to him. But
it's not the boxer's fault.
Joe hasn't done no wrong in that department.
No, I mean Jack does something.
Yes.
Have you felt that with Jack, haven't you?
Fella is.
Feels like managers that fall out with promoters, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but the kid knows. I mean, I got on really well with his dad, his missus, his mum. Lovely people. I got on great with them, and I've got a place not far from where he was brought up and he was taught at school, so I know people who know him, and so like I thought, it's perfect this. Some of the supporters were even shouting my name after he won the world title, so we got plans, and then he starts going behind my bike, and Jack were like condoning it, and then they were sat here once, and if you ask Pat Barrett, they knocked the Lyndon Arthur fight back.
In here?
Aye. I got Rimmer, Massey, Marie, all here. I went, so I'd asked Al Siesta, I went, what about Lyndon Arthur? I went, oh, that'd be a good one. He's from Manchester, he's a light heavy, they've sparred together. They were like, ooh, I don't know if you want that. Are you joking, man?
What, a cruiserweight against a light heavyweight? Anyway, laugh.
Anyway, well, he's the sparring now. Well, he always seemed to get cut, or this happened. I went, you're telling me? He went, well, Jack could still beat him. So you're telling me you don't want that fight? I went, no.
Well, that must have been at cruiserweight then, Dennis, because so he was stepping up Lyndon then, yeah. So he's got to be given credit, then, for stepping up.
Pat Barrett were on springs for it. You asked Pat, or
what belt were it for?
IBO world title.
Of course they would have been it mixed with that then, wouldn't they?
Didn't want it. Tommy McCarthy didn't want it. Masternet didn't want it. And then when I put this to Jack, he said, well, I didn't know about these. Well, obviously you know about that one, because we were sat there.
What, the Lyndon Arthur one?
McCarthy, I'm not going to Belfast. Usyk goes around the world, he never fights at home. Why should I go into somebody's backyard? Well, how many times does what do they call it, go?
Usyk, he's done every one, and he's lost 14 or something.
Yeah, so, you know, pound for pound.
World titles.
So, like, didn't want it, they wanted an easy payday and to keep the title. I ended up falling out with the IBO, and eventually he's got stripped because he won't find them. Then they trying to say, we never knocked a fight back. Lies. So, and cost me money. So how do I get my money back? Kevin Murray once said to me, Dennis, I'm going to help you get your money back and more on the Jack Massey thing for what you've done for him.
What could put this right? A lump of dough in your pocket, and how much to put this right, Ron?
I can't say how much, but we will be getting some compensation, I believe. And I'm going to take it to Hill, even if it costs me a lump of dough, because I don't want to be big-headed, but I've got more money than them. And
but what's the point? You don't need the money. Is it?
I don't need the money.
Is it the fact that you feel like they've wronged you?
Of course they have. I've took a kid who was 46 in the world. I got him his first fight with me for a European title. I got him rated number 6 in the IBF. I got him a final eliminator for the IBF that Kevin knocked back against Master, who we'd have beat. And then I got him an IBO world title, rated number 46 in the world, for the vacant world title, because of my relationship with the IBO, my relationship with Rodney Berman, who got the IBO world champion at the time I got him to relinquish. So opened it up. None of them could have done it, but when you get them up there, their heads turn and they're all thinking, ooh, how can we cash in? Never put a hand in the pocket for 1 penny. Use my money. They're called OPM money people. OPM people.
What's that mean?
Other people's money.
Oh, OPM. Oh, that's your saying, isn't it?
No, it's just a saying that.
Now that they've used yours this time, you're raging. You always come out with that OPM. So just because you got shafted, it serves you right, Ron. Big Ron got shafted for once.
I've been shafted more than once.
Yeah, but you don't. You're always in a position where you're throwing a couple $100 at lawyers and stuff like that just to prove a point. Why don't you just let it go and be nice like me?
You're fucking John Dillinger of fucking boxing. Public enemy number 1.
Hey, listen, Morris Cole loves me. Team Morris.
Hey, Morris.
Alright, Morris, isn't he?
Yeah, I like him.
Morris is here. Crawford Ashley, Morris, and all them boys. Carl Thompson.
Yeah, class act.
You had him here, didn't you?
Yeah, proper.
What's he like, him, Dennis?
I just enjoy doing bits.
Tell him about when you rung him up and said, I've got your world title fight.
What with Carl? Oh, brilliant, isn't it? And I love Carl.
Tell him what he said.
Oh, when I ring him up and I think, I'm right excited. I've got him an IBO against Sebastian Rothman from South Africa. And I'm right excited to tell him, because he'd looked to Bob in the comeback fights. And I went, Carl, I'm right excited on the phone. I went, Carl, it's Dennis. He went, alright, Dennis. I went, Carl, I've got some news for you. Oh yeah, what's that? I went, IBO world title, June the 23rd, whatever the date was, at Sheffield. I says, you're fighting, I don't know what it is, you're fighting for, against Sebastian Rothman, IBO world cruiserweight title. He went quiet.
Did he?
And I went, Carl, he went, yeah? I went, and I'm expecting, yes! I went, Carl, it's a world title. What do you want to say? I'm just thinking, I've just got to check what rotor our lass is on that day. I went, you are? She went, well, she works nights, doesn't she? And I've got to make sure she's not on that rotor.
So well, she wanted her at ring, didn't he?
He wanted to make sure she were with, so he could have time off with kids. That's how down to earth he was. And you think he's more bothered about what shift she's on than 5 foot world title. And I went, but anyway, obviously he fought and he got a knockout.
Did he win world title at Muay Thai? Didn't he?
He did something, but what a tough kid, but what a pleasure to work with. And then when Adam Bull wanted that title for David A, because we were promoting David A at the time, I advised Adam not to take it, and for David A, that were at Wembley Arena, and Carl stopped him in, I think it was 5 rounds, with it?
Yeah, but Dennis, I heard that you put that fight on and that you thought David A were going to win.
I did.
You had them both in your stable. You weren't bothered, you were on a winner's...
I've just made this up.
No,
I advised Adam Booth not to take that fight because I said Carl were too dangerous for him.
Really, you were just saying that to hype it up, weren't you?
No.
Did you really think that David A were going to lose that fight then? If you
I thought it were a dangerous fight for David A, and we were getting dates on the back of.
It was that far
David
off getting stopped in third round. I won it by O'Connor.
But it was that far off getting stopped against Sebastian Rothman.
Yeah.
And returns being that far, and that's why they will never forgive Frank Warren and Johnny Nelson because of the same principle.
That fight, yeah.
So does that answer your question?
Well, yeah, I suppose, but there's always an answer in boxing. There's always another side of the coin, isn't there?
Yeah, but you like to just think you're going to ask a question, but where you already know the answer. Well, it don't happen that all the time, does it, Will?
But I like following Carl Thompson's career from the Crawford, Ashton, Morris, Cole, them sort of guys, because I always got the impression that they weren't bothered about a challenge back then.
You were proper.
You know, Clinton,
fighting.
yeah, you want to fight Roy Jones? Yeah, this is how much you get. Yeah, set it up.
No.
There were none of that walking out last and all that.
But like Clinton with Roy Jones, that couldn't just happen. Without me, that wouldn't have happened.
Oh, not you saving the world again, Ron.
Of course it were. But it wouldn't have happened, and he got a massive payday where we were on like 30 and 40 grand, and he got $500,000 payday for it. So big.
So
in them days it were.
Roy Jones were massive at the time.
20 odd
He was
years
like
ago.
Mayweather now, wasn't he? Or a few years ago.
Probably bigger because he were more exciting to watch.
Yeah, well, yeah. And do you feel that Roy Jones now at light heavyweight running through the lot of them from that era?
Oh, for sure.
What about Beater Beef?
What? You are?
You think when you turn him on his head? Yeah.
Do me a favour.
Do you think Clinton would have had a good one with him?
We do.
Beater Beef?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, look, I think Clint beats Froch.
Yeah, but they're different weights.
Different ways, but like Calzaghe moved up from super middle to.
He only moved up £5, didn't he? He didn't go up full 7, did he?
No, but he moved up to a light heavy, and reigned at light heavy. I think I think Clinton has struggled with Joe more than what he'd have struggled with Carl. I think it'd have been a fantastic fight. But I think
pocket.
Yeah, but I think Clinton might have been a touch too much for Carl, but I wouldn't have been surprised if it could have gone all the way. But for me, I think Clinton would have had an edge on Carl. What a scrap that would be.
Do you think, Dennis, that
Because I nearly made the Calzaghe fight, didn't I?
yeah, I've seen all that, emails and all that, yeah. Do you think that Clinton at 175 now beats Anthony Yard?
Absolutely.
What about Dan Aziz?
Oh, for sure. Sure, I had Reece Cartwright in with Dan Aziz, and he troubled him for about 5 rounds till he got tired. So Clinton had a walk through there.
So has the quality dropped then, Dennis, in the last 20 years?
I like Anthony Yard, but I think Clinton would have been too seasoned, too hard, too correct, and he'd have got to a pair of them, if not just one on a wide points. I think he'd have broke both throats.
Like he did Crawford's.
I think they're good on top fighters compared to Clinton now. But smashing fighters.
It's all about timing, isn't it? If you would have got Clinton and with Crawford earlier on, he'd have got beat, wouldn't he?
Well, we just missed Bellew. I'd love Clinton to have fought Bellew.
Oh, I would have.
Because I think he'd have done a number on
I think
Bellew.
he'd have put him on planet orbit.
But I do respect what Bellew's done, moving up the weights, and it's a good thing about Tony Bellew is he can talk, sells himself well, and his game. And so he's never said I'm the greatest fighter of all time, so I do respect him for that. But I would have loved to. We're talking about fights what I'd like to have seen, but you know, I mean, you love to slag fighters off and stuff like that.
No, only if they're carrying off like.
No, if they carry off. But these fighters who I'm not bothered about personality wise, but I still respect what they've done. And cause I've been in the game 30 odd years, and some of them I've got no time for. But I don't mean to say I haven't got respect for him. I've had my spats with Warren, haven't I? But I respect him because he's in this country.
Boxing, BRICKTOP,
he's Mr. Boxing in this country. He's been there, done it, but he ain't got my morals. But I do respect him.
Francis Warren, aka the housewife's favourite. You know he's managing.
Oh, Francis.
Francis, hello.
Love you, Francis.
You love Francis, don't you?
I do like Francis.
Yeah. You and Francis like to go out on Lash, don't you?
No, Lash. I don't party like like them.
Like Francis.
But and you.
Hey,
but
I'm an old man now. I can't do it.
I like a glass of wine or a whiskey and stuff, but
A bag of kettle crisps.
I think Francis is lovely company. I like George, to be fair,
Oh, Julian Clary.
and I idolise Andy Ayling.
You like Andy Ayling? I didn't think you
What
and
do you
Andy
mean?
got on.
What do you mean?
Pinocchio, Andy Ayling, the Beast of Brentford. Evening, Andy. How's your Bentley?
I like George, but yeah, Francis. I do. I've got a right soft spot for Francis, even though he's got a few things wrong with me.
What?
He's got a few things wrong with me, but I have got a right soft spot for him.
He's the Albert Trotter at Navy World, isn't he?
I get on well with his cousins Honor Bobby and Alfie and his dad Big Bobby. I go and smash. Do you know what? He's smashing company, but as regards, like I said, Frank. who I
As in
respect-
regards to slicing the cake up at the end, they're not that smashing, are they, Ron? When it comes to divvying up, wait, listen, you can't talk on a Monday in here, divvying up after the shows. Come on.
What do I cop for?
Well, use the cop for note.
Hey, thanks.
Like everybody else. I'm a wrong ticket
I
deal.
don't think so.
Ron, are we stopping these ticket deals? Come on.
How do you stop a ticket deal, Russ?
I don't know, just get, you promote it and sell them yourself.
You sell them. You sell them for me, then we must have to ask the kids to sell
I'll
them.
go around and get me...
You tell me how easy it is.
It's hard work selling tickets.
You
I've done tickets on this industrial estate and it's hard, isn't it?
You
Hard.
try and promote a show
Oh,
without asking kids to sell tickets.
it's hard, isn't it?
Even Eddie and Frank, who's got a lump of dough from BT and DAZN or that
Eddie.
schmuck,
Really.
Ben,
And Shalom.
Ben Shallow, Shallow Al.
Shallow Owl.
They've all got to sell tickets.
Yeah, I don't agree with that, you know, because, you know, Mickey Duffy, he didn't have them selling
No,
tickets.
but it's changed from when I first started promoting. You put them on, they'd be on a purse. and
It's something you promoters have invented. Because Mickey Duff didn't do it.
I'm different gravy to them. I know I sound a bit conceited, but it's true. But I started when the world were different. You'd put a fight on, and a lot of people would stay and watch the whole card. Now they just come to watch their specific fighter usually. So it's that way. You can't put a poster out there like you've got all your big billboards around the world promoting
It's the
yourself.
latest one, Ron. Park Gate.
And people buy tickets. It doesn't happen. Kids have got to go out and sell themselves. I wish they didn't have to. I think I don't want to do that, but anyway, I don't have to make excuses to you.
What?
Who are you?
Some of the fighters I see leaving here with their heads in their hands.
You'll be leaving here with your head in your hands.
Hey?
We're backhander.
What about Liam Cameron? He's
What
coming
about?
back, Ron.
What? Coming back to what?
Boxing.
What's he coming back for?
To fight again, he's training at Chris's.
Is it?
Doing well.
Is
Are you
it?
going to re-sign him?
No, thanks.
Why not?
I only re-signed him because of Chris, who were a good friend of mine, Chris, and I only signed him for him, and I got him a Commonwealth title out of nowhere, and then he repaid me by getting done for powder, and then wants to blame everybody but himself. Now, not my kind of kid.
Oh, it's a shame that, Dennis.
I used to think he was a lovely lad, Liam. I really used to like him, but not my kind of kid.
So, Dennis, we've spoke about a lot of things today.
Come on, I'm falling asleep. You're boring me now.
The old Dennis, what are you being horrible for? Right, you're stable. The old boxing situation at the moment, we know what's going on, but you're stable, Dennis. Who's best fighter you've got at the moment?
Perry out.
Perry Howe, he's just lost to Reeves at Central
Oh, I
Area.
forgot.
But he's got a rematch.
Yeah, well.
Think they'll have it?
That's sweet. Look, Robert Riley's my mate in here, and if we're doing something, I'll work with Robert. And Perry I think Perry's a decent kid at heart. I don't think he should have took that fight. I don't think he'd come out, what he tells me, as much as he thought he was going to. But it is what it is. And good luck to him. He's getting married this year. Anyway, but yeah, I've got Tommy Frank, Connor Butler, Ryan Farag. We've got Anna Rankin, Katie Ely. We signed numerous kids. We've got Keenan Wainwright. You know, we've got kids at our gym. We've got Dave Allen. We've got Mason, Connor from our gym. There's kids coming over who's going to turn over. You know, you got Jimmy from North East. Adam. We've got quite an array of talent up and down the country, and I've missed probably a few off there, but
what about Max?
We've got Big Max, Hercules. You don't like me calling him Hercules, do you?
Well, Max, there ain't no muscle on his body.
I'm talking about. Do you know they were in Steptoe and Son? They were a horse. Do you know what they called it? Hercules.
Oh yeah. Got rag and bone, man.
Yeah.
That's what you are.
And he's my clip clop. And then it goes into.
Is that Max?
He's coming on, that lad.
Max, are you doing your running in the morning? Yes or no?
And not running to chocolate factory. What do you weigh today, Max?
22 Clem.
You promised me by was it April 1st?
Yeah. He's lost bet, hasn't he? Another bet, another diet bet.
I did it. I think it was an April Fool. You promised me you were down to 19 stone. I'm told from 23 stone you've gone up, Max. Now the
23 now.
The only benefit I'd get from you if you were in my cab in my lorry when I used to take my lorry full of scrap on Weybridge, I'd have got 24 stones worth of stainless steel weighed in, because I'd have let you go for a walk after we'd weighed you in on Weybridge, and then I'd have got 23 stones worth of stainless. So you'd have earned your wages every day if you'd have been in cab with me. That's if I could have fitted you in. So
you side them like I used to do at bottom at cab, you know, on your way in. Yeah, but when they do it to you, you don't like it.
Because I know what they're doing. But Max, come on, Max. If we're taking it serious, or are you just a white collar fighter? What are you? So if we're serious about it, if you want a contract with Fight Zone and Fight Academy, we've got to put it in.
Max, we're not messing about now. Get some weight off or get gone. That's where we are. And that's what I say about working here.
Well, Julian, I've got to have a word with you, because I don't know if he's flanneling you and me, pal. So, Julian, we don't want to lose our...
Get on them scales, Max, and stop messing us about.
They ain't non-big enough. He'll have to put one foot on one and one foot on another. They don't go that far up. He'll bust a dial on the Weybridge.
Max, you've got to take it serious. I don't want to hear about you in pizza up.
Yeah, come on, Rolly from Grange Hill. What are they going to do?
No, it's not that, Dennis. It's Roland. Every time I see you, Roland, you're popping something into your mouth.
What? Can't we wire his jaw up or something?
He needs to do something, because we like Max, don't we, Dennis? He's likeable, isn't he? He's like a big cuddly teddy bear, isn't he? He's not got the devil in him, has he?
I don't know. I think there's some devil in there. He's a strong, powerful kid.
He's strong, isn't he? Yeah, he can lift big weights, can't he? He's a big lump. He's a lump, isn't he?
He's got to learn how to use it. And if Julian can't do it with him and I can't do it with him, then he's no chance.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Anyway, let's go off of the Max subject. He knows we think a lot about him, so let's move on.
It's up to him, innit? Yeah, British Boxing Board of Control have come in for a lot of criticism recently for how they've handled a lot of things. Do you think it's time that we have a new person in charge, Dennis?
Maybe it's time for a bit of change, but I mean, I have missed spats with Robert and Dennis Gilmartin, and I mean, I think the area council are smashing with Les and Rob up here. But Robert is
that Les Potts, he knocked me back.
Well,
for my licence.
I've seen you getting knocked back by a lot more than Les Potts. So what?
He's ex-chief of police, eh?
Yeah, but he's probably just. I'd probably just say join the club, because you've been knocked back more times than.
Peter got knocked back first, didn't he? Fury.
Did
He had to go for an Irish one, didn't he? He got one in the end, didn't
Got one in the end. But yeah, Robert, I think he's ready for a change himself. So, but I don't respect him, but I question some of his decision making at times. But the funny thing is, I get on really well socially with Robert Smith. And to be fair, Dennis Kilmartin, but I probably
Dennis, I feel sick with you socially getting on with Smithy. Oh, fuck.
By the way, Smith is good company.
What, when he's had a drink?
He's good company, aye, he's a good lad.
What, on your tab, Dennis?
Probably, but it doesn't matter. Now he's bought me drinks before. But some of his decisions I haven't agreed with because they haven't been right and they haven't been consistent. But look, we need the board and we need them to be consistent, that's all I'll say on it.
Who's the best heavyweight in the world at the moment, Dennis?
Tyson Fury.
Who's the best cruiserweight?
Usyk.
Usyk's not a cruiserweight though now, is he, Dennis? Is he the greatest cruiserweight of all time, would you say, Usyk? I would.
Well, you know Evander Holyfield were a cruiserweight.
13 stone 8 though, wasn't he? Not 14-4.
Yeah, but he ended up an heavyweight, so would he have still been the greatest cruiserweight of all time? Evander Holyfield and Usyk, Alexander Usyk, the greatest. You've got to admire Usyk because he's stepped up to heavyweight and between him and Tyson they're the best. But Deontay Wilder's not that far behind still, so it just shows what a job that Tyson's done. But I think Tyson is getting close to maybe calling it a day because, look, he's a big, massive fella. He's been punishing his body for years and he's bloated up and down weight, so he's starting to... Ideally, if I were him, I'd only have a couple more fights.
Do you think Tyson's taking a few liberties with Dylan White, CHISORA, now they're talking Otto Wallin?
Tell me, right, the greatest, who was, go on.
Ali?
Muhammad Ali. How many takeover, tell me how many takeover fights, how many times have you got
8.
Bugner?
8 out of 24 title fights, wasn't it?
So if you look at it from that point of view, they were almost exhibitions.
Yeah, but you've got to understand, if Ali's, I'd say, I don't know, world title fights, let's say 24 world title fights or something around that. I know he had so many wins over world champions, 16, and there were only 2 belts then, so if he had 24, who were the other 8? That's how I look at it. And they're your filler fights, aren't they? So Dylan White and CHISORA, I can understand that, but not when you're the Lanier and you're giving it the big un.
Right.
I don't want to see...
But Ali were classed as Lanier.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I see where you're coming from.
So go and answer that.
So, well, we can't come because there's arguments on both
So you're
sides.
telling me that Derek CHISORA fight, which I didn't like to see, to be honest, was worse than Ali fighting Henry Cooper?
Well, Henry Cooper dropped him.
Yeah, but was it on paper any worse?
You mean, well, that's like saying Andy Ruiz and Joshua, isn't it?
Yeah, to now, because Andy Ruiz were undefeated. But
No, he'd lost once against
But Henry
Parker.
Cooper had been beat by Jack
Parker
Bodell.
beat him Ruiz, didn't he, before?
By Jack Bodell. Had beat Henry
Jack
Cooper.
Bodell, yeah.
He beat Henry Cooper. So Henry Cooper were a great domestic fighter, British
They
title.
all fought, didn't they? Jack Bodell, Cooper, Jack London.
Yeah, so Danny McAlinden and all that lot. So Ali, his street said, so what I'm trying to get at, the principle of it is, he were like Liverpool playing Crew Alexander.
Yeah.
And Tyson versus CHISORA, because CHISORA's starting to come to end of his career, were like you say, a gimme. How many did Ali have? But I'd rather Tyson fight Joshua, because even though Joshua for me is mentally not right, and like I said time and time again, if they were serious about winning, I sent a text to Eddie, by the way, never answered me back. And do you know this? I didn't tell you this. Let me broker a meeting between yourself, AJ and Peter Fury if you're serious about him winning another world title.
Joshua?
Swear. If you can tell Peter that, because if he's serious about doing it, but if it's just a commercial entity, which it looks like he is,
Peter won't train Joshua, surely.
Peter would train somebody if they could prove they were serious about being a fighter, and with somebody like Peter who's got a winner's mentality, then, but obviously they're in it for different reasons. So no, Peter couldn't train him because they're not in for the right reason.
They're in it for money, aren't they? No.
So it's all commercial and all backslapping and I've got this trainer from
Is that
America.
why he's parked up, Dennis, do you think?
Yeah, but his mentality is an issue now because he's got demons, because he's got beat and his punch resistance. He's worried about all that. His big thing where he were a finisher and he used to go forward on the front foot. Now he's stuck in the middle, not knowing am I a fighter or am I a boxer. He don't know what he is.
Do you think that, Dennis, that Eddie's saying that he wants to make Joshua Wilder, it's the biggest fight out there, it's a great tear up, and Bellew was saying that, but they've got one stoppage in the last 6 fights between them both. So how are they big killers, old man killers? Deontay and Joshua have got one stoppage between them in 6 round fights, haven't they?
I think Deontay will
light him up. Yeah, I do.
Because I think mentally Deontay is still there, and I think mentally Anthony Joshua is fragile. I'm afraid to say, and it's a shame to see because you don't like to see fights go that way, but it'd still be I'd still pay to watch it because he's still got a puncher's chance if all of a sudden he gets that spark. And
they don't stop people at top level though, do they? It's alright stopping Pula, Povetkin, Vladimir. They're old men. Old men.
And all that, yeah. Well, it is what it is. For me, Deontay's up there with Usyk and Tyson.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And they're three out there on their own.
He's the third, I think. Tyson, Usyk, Deontay.
Well, I think you could make a case for Zhang replacing Joshua as the fourth man in this tournament. Zhang.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think you will. And I think Dubois is somewhere like about 6 or 7.
Yeah, you're probably right. Okie dokie then. Well, we've had a good chat today. I'll do this next week. We'll jazz it all up, put some inserts in it, make it look alright. Tell AJ thanks for Nando's. AJ, I'll tell him you said thank you for that butter chicken.
Thank you, my little nephew.
He's got loads of lolly on the AJ. You should share the love, shouldn't he, Ron?
He's got plenty of Barney and all now. And it's spring, it's growing.
Keegan Perm. He's going for a Keegan Perm, isn't he? Go on, AJ.
He's good looking, he's charming, like it's in his DNA, innit?
What, being an Hobson like you?
Well, you know.
Well, I'll give AJ's dues, Dennis. He's more on the ball than you with scrap game, isn't he?
Can't be everything. I spin too many plates, Russ.
Do you think that your problem in life is then that you're not hands-on and everything, that you're always from a distance, watching from afar when really you should be in mix?
Yeah, I've done that. I've been in mix.
You in mix? When are you coming back to mix at boxing, Dennis, at Big Table?
Watch this space, Russ.
What have we got? Some bubbling?
Don't mock, Russ, don't mock.
Dennis, how many times me and you used to get at it? We used to say, calm down, wait while you see what we're doing next week. We've got something really bubbling. And I used to flip my lid when you used to say that. You used to say it to wind me up.
I've got something really bubbling.
No! Not run with something bubbling now! I can't take it anymore! Run!
Let me choke her out. Let me back you then. Let me back.
Ron's got something bubbling, God help us. Right. Don't have nightmares. And don't forget, if you want to earn a few quid on Porky's Corner, this is what you do. You get on your social medias and share that link for Welcome Estates. Got to be in it to win it. Lottery ticket, you've got to pay him £2.50. We welcome, it's free, innit? Peace out. You want to say anything, Ron, to end it?
Merry Christmas if I don't see you before.
Lunatic. Well, I enjoyed that with Dennis. Enjoyed that last night. Had a good laugh. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Really. I just want to add this at the end of the video. That I don't comment on other people's channels on the live chat or on the comment section. I'm not sure if you can see when an account's been set up if somebody clicks on the live chat stuff, but if you go onto the part that at the top of the YouTube that says about on somebody's channel, it'll tell you when they started, how many videos they've got. But if people want to pretend to be me, there's nothing I can do about it, is if they want to comment on other channels.
I don't comment on other channels because this is what happens. People start trying to cut your legs off pretending to be you. So if anybody's got a YouTube channel and people comment on it and it says Porky's Corner, pretty simple really, just click on the bit that says about, or if it's on your live chat, email me porkycorner@mail.com, alright, and I'll point it out to you that I don't want live chat. Okay, alright. So there's people reading questions out that I've sent them in on the YouTube channels. Why would they do that? You never worked that out, me. Never worked that out at all. There it is. Alright. All good stuff, innit? See you later. Nice to have you on, Dennis. Here you're talking utter nonsense about nonsense. You've got something bubbling. You like grot bags, Dennis, with big stick, broomstick in oil job. ITV, do you remember grot bags with big mole on face and green face? That's you, Dennis. Put something bubbling. Okie dokie. Peace out. Porky's Corner is proud to be sponsored by Spartan Site Solutions. They are specialists in civil engineering and demolition contracts for the construction industry. Interested parties should visit their website or contact Porky's Corner for a referral at porkycorner@mail.com.